Hey, book lovers. My name is Em, and I want to talk about books. And cats. Welcome back, book lovers. So I was beginning to wonder if this episode was ever going to come out. There have been some growing pains as our media company gets its footing because, of course, nothing can ever go smoothly. But we persevere, and here we are, only a week late. This is going to be the last episode for a little while. I'm going to be taking July and August off just to enjoy the summer and read some books, get organized for some new projects that I have coming up in the fall. And yeah, just live life for a little while. And then I'll come back and give you the highlights. And if you're looking for more books and cats stuff for the summer, you can check out the Books and Cats YouTube page. You can also check out booksandcatspod.com or frapmedia.com. There's all kinds of good stuff. You can listen to past episodes. You can check out my books and stories. There's lots of stuff that'll help get you through until we reconvene in the fall. Now let's get into this week's book. I want to talk about Confessions on the 745 by Lisa Unger. So this one just came up as a suggestion on Audible, and I was in the mood for a longish thriller. And this one fit the bill perfectly. This one had a lot going on. It's told from a bunch of different viewpoints, but it mainly shifts between Selena and Pearl, mostly following Selena. She's a working mom, she has 2 beautiful boys, and a marriage that at first seems kind of perfect, until she confirms her suspicions and catches her husband with the nanny. She catches them twice on the nanny cam, but she's still kind of frozen with indecision. Life is very complicated, and it can be difficult to untangle, especially when there's kids involved. She wasn't ready for her life to get blown up. She didn't want it to happen. So she's trying to see if there's any way around it, basically. After the second video, she misses her train home, and she ends up having a couple hours to just process what she's going to do. But she walks around, she doesn't really make any decisions. She's still completely scattered when she gets on the 7:45 train. On the train, she meets a woman who she somehow feels like automatically drawn to. Like she feels comfortable with this woman. She feels like she can open up to her. And open up she does. She ends up confessing everything about what she's feeling, about what's going on in her marriage, just to a complete stranger. Just lets it all spill out. The woman is super supportive. She kind of makes her own confessions as well. And then she says something that kind of sticks with Selena. She says, "What if all your problems could just disappear?" Once at home, she confronts Graham, and she is deciding how to move forward. That weekend, she's kind of stuck in stasis, and she's still posting online like these kind of fake happy family outing pictures, you know? So she's trying to decide what to do, and then the nanny, Genevieve, doesn't show up for work on Monday morning. The police show up, however, because Genevieve's sister has called because the young woman has not met up with her sister when she was supposed to, hasn't been in touch with her all weekend, and her sister's really worried. Selena tries to keep calm during all of this, but everything crumbles the minute the police appear on her doorstep. Her husband, Graham, is a natural charmer, and he lies to the police. Selena is in shock and just kind of goes along with him. She doesn't want to believe that her husband could somehow be involved in the nanny's disappearance, but there is an inkling of a possibility there. She's kind of beginning to question how well she actually knows him and how many things she's kind of just glossed over in the past. Personality quirks that maybe she made excuses for that aren't really excusable. So that is kind of the beginning of Selena's whole thing. And then we have Pearl. As a 14-year-old, Pearl is living with her somewhat deadbeat mom and whatever man her mom is dating at the time. And when Pearl is 14, her mom is actually dating a man who is unlike any of the other ones. He's intelligent. He talks to Pearl like a human being and shows interest in her thoughts and opinions, but he's not gross with her, Just completely different from her mom's usual type. He's kind of more of a family man, like he's big on them being a family unit. And he even starts helping out at her mom's bookstore and helping out around the house. He just takes really good care of both Pearl and her mom until Pearl's mom decides to bring in a new boyfriend. She doesn't even break up with the other guy. She just brings in a new guy, and it's awkward and gross. Even then, he continues working at the bookstore, though. And one day, him and Pearl are working there. Pearl got there after school. But her mom doesn't show up at the store like she usually does. They go to Pearl's house, and they discover her mother in bed, dead, with strangulation marks on her neck. Now, Pearl has no other family and nowhere to go. And this man decides that he's going to take her with him and take care of her. She starts calling him Pop, and he teaches Pearl the family business. Pop is a con man, and a very good one. Pearl is a quick learner, and she fits very well into his newest scheme. I really like this book because there are such a multitude of plot lines, and it's not entirely clear what the connection is to some of them. It does all eventually come together in a really interesting way. I would say the only critique I had was with the actual audiobook part. The climactic scene just dragged a little bit, but it could also be that I was pretty frustrated with the choices that were being made and the amount of hesitation. It definitely paints Selena as a freezer, like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Her reaction to danger is definitely to freeze completely. So it did really add to her character, but it just took a little too long. That might just be a me problem. Sometimes I have a hard time listening to audiobooks because they don't go fast enough when I'm really invested. I must say that I did like the fact that she froze constantly, because usually like a main character will reach a point in these stories where they can become almost unbelievable in their ability to handle stuff, just take every single thing that's being thrown at them and handle it and just keep going. And I know people have like a survival mode, but this does a really good job of her handling things, but also kind of falling apart before she finally handles things, which I think these characters were just refreshingly real. This was a really engaging story, and I would definitely recommend Confessions on the 745 by Lisa Unger. She has a bunch more books, and I cannot wait to check out more of her stuff. So this is going to be a shorter episode today, book lovers. And like I said, after this one, I will be taking July and August off to enjoy life and get ready for the fall. And right now, I just want to leave you with this week's quote of the week. It's from Anne Frank, and it's just about hope. The quote is, "I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains." I hope you can find the beauty in every day, book lovers. That's it for this episode of M's Books and Cats podcast. You can find all things Books and Cats related at booksandcatspod.com. You can follow me on YouTube at Books and Cats, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you listen to podcasts. Give the show a like and a follow. It all helps so much, and I greatly appreciate it. You can find all of my books, plays, and stories at frapmedia.com, as well as on Amazon. And you should check out my newest podcast, which is coming June 27th. It's called Where's My Purse, and I am discussing all things ADHD and mental health related, among other things. I'm sure I'll get sidetracked. And hopefully it will also be fun and helpful. Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful July and August, book lovers. I will see you again in the fall. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, keep reading.
A Frap Media production.